Hey friends, it's Saturday morning, November 10th. The video was supposed to go up last night. I had two really long sections where I was just pinning fabric and I talked about a lot of really awesome random things, but I made the video almost 2 hours. I literally started uploading at 6 p.m. and it still wasn't done by the time I went to bed at 2 a.m. So I left it going on my phone while I slept. And whenever I woke up, it had restarted. So I took those two chunks out and I left the rest in. We're going to try this again. Hopefully it goes up sometime today. Enjoy. Hey friends, it is Monday, December 5th, and wow, lots to show you. Quick little fabric haul from going to the quilt store on Saturday. So Alex overslept and then didn't feel great in the morning, so I went down to the fabric store by myself. I didn't do any antique shopping. I just hung out at the store for, I don't know, like 4 hours or something. It's honestly totally normal. But Kim right now has Christmas fabrics all this month on sale for 30% off. So I got some of this for the backing of my mystery quilt. You're thinking, why does she have two of them? Because you need 3 3/4 backing for this quilt. So I just got 4 yards, and Doyle was a gem and cut it into 2 yards each, so that way I just have to boop, sew it up the side. I don't have to try and, with my tiny space, figure out where the 4 yard or the 2 yard mark is and cut it. So he went ahead and did that for me. So I have 4 yards of backing and I just need to sew it up the middle. And then I got this for my binding. So this will frame out the quilt, and this will be like a pop of like, bam, annual face on the back, which I'm super excited about. I got, it looks navy, but it's washed black from Bella Solids to do the binding for my dad's quilt. And I'm dropping this off tonight, but I got 2 yards, gosh, 2 yards of just white muslin, 118 wide back for this quilt. So I'll get a lot of white fabric back, which is great. And then I got some essentials. I got 2 spools of my favorite color of thread because I only had one more like in reserve, and I'm about to finish with one, so I needed extras. Hi, Lit. So my little cross stitch that I made Alex over her gift, she really liked it. She tried out linen for the first time Saturday night, so she did end up coming over Saturday afternoon, and we went to the grocery store. We got stuff to make soup, and then we watched a movie and we cross stitched, and she really liked it. I got mine finished. I don't know if hers is finished or not, but this is my finished one. So this was a 32 count natural linen that came from Hobby Lobby. It's a Zweigart. But yeah, so she really liked it, and so that's good. Also, I just got this in the mail. So somebody pointed me to the direction of somebody who does D-stashes, and there's some really good stuff on her D-stash page. It's on Instagram, and literally the handle is Epic D-stash. So if you're looking for some really awesome old fabrics and stuff, check that out. She is going to be starting up though an Etsy at Miss Little Green Dress, but on Instagram She is epic D-stash. Super cute. So cute. All right. So yes, I got some old Heather Ross fabrics that she had. I was just talking to that other person on Instagram, and I told her what a couple of the ones that I was looking for were, and she goes, oh my gosh, somebody has those in a D-stash right now. Let me find them. And so she found it, linked them to me, and now they're here. Oh my gosh, she put in a little extra. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. That is so cute. So these are fat quarters. They might be like an inch shorter on each side, but they're pretty close to fat quarters. But I have the white background of this one, but this one is so cute because it looks like a little Potter and a little Stella. And on the white background, all of the cats are like purples and pinks. So I loved that how this one had orange and white cats. And then these came as a bundle. These were some coordinates from, I think that line was Moonky or something like that. I don't know, but they're super cute. So this colorway obviously goes with this one, and then this colorway goes better with the one that I already have. And then she threw in a little extra. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. It's just like a sliver, but there's like a ton of little bees stitching and doing all the things, and like some pretty flowers that I could fussy cut. That is so sweet of her. So sweet. I love that. So I am about to go to my Quilt Guild's Christmas party. That is tonight. And the mystery pattern comes out tomorrow. I need to remember to take this with me. The mystery pattern comes out tomorrow. Hi, baby. Yeah. Okay. So we finally get to know what the blocks are gonna look like, but last night I got I had as far as like the panels go, I had the 5 blank ones done, and I had this one done. So I finished these 2, and I got them chained. I put a picture in my stories, and I have the next, no, you don't need to, no. I have the next 4 panels ready to be chain pieced to put the panel blocks together, and then I can, once those are done, I can add those to the chain of the big panels. But I am making progress on this quilt. So there's the top. Here you can see the start of the snowflake. So my snowflake is going to be the music pages fabric. Here's a really good chunk of the snowflake. There you go. And then there's a little snowflake piece down at the bottom. So I have that going pretty well. So yeah, the next ones that I'm making are these, and I already have them laid out. So like I said, I just have to chain all of those together in each block, and then I'll do the rows for each block, press them, and then I can add each of those blocks to the big quilt's chain. I feel like if I tried to do it any different, like making all the panels and then trying to remember what order they all go in, it might be more confusing. This makes more sense for my brain, so there's just a lot of moving parts to this quilt, but I think it's gonna be really pretty. So that's what I was working on last night, and I've been binge watching the final season of Wentworth. And this weekend, I finished watching season 5 of The Crown. I watched The Texas Killing Fields. And Alex and I watched Where the Crawdads Sing on Saturday. I read the book a year and a half ago. She read the book I think she finished it right before the movie came out in theaters, or at least before she went and saw it in theaters. So she rewatched it with me, and they did a really good job. But yeah, that's all that I have to show you right now. I'm gonna go to my meeting. It's our ornament exchange. So in my next clip, I'll show you which ornament I got, and we may or may not sew tonight. My back is kind of hurting. So I don't know. The chairs at the church are not very comfortable. So if my back is hurting a lot more whenever I get home, I will probably, also it's gonna be late. I might just go lay down in bed and finish the final season of Wentworth, because I only have like an episode or 2 left. I'm so sad that show is over. It's such a good show. If you haven't watched it, it started before Orange is the New Black. It went longer than Orange is the New Black. In my opinion, it's better than Orange is the New Black. Anyways, I will check in with y'all in the next clip. Hi. So it's Monday evening. I just got home from my meeting about 10 minutes ago. I am really tired. I'm not going to stay up and stitch. Those chairs are so uncomfortable. Stitch or sew, actually. I'm going to go lay down, watch some Wentworth, and pass out. But I wanted to quickly show you what I came home with. So Kathy made these cute little napkins that fold up like trees, but they're just half circles. Pressed really well. I did not use mine, but we all got to take ours home, and so that was super cute. I won one of the UFO door prizes, so I got this cute little bag with a yellow fat quarter and a Zappy Dots needle nanny with sewing machine on it, which is super cute. And Kathy also wanted to give me a little gift, and she gave me some of this cute Duffy fabric. I don't know yet what I want to do with it, but it's these cute little ducks. These cute little ducks. This really pretty floral, and this line and star fabric, so super cute. And in the ornament exchange game, I got the ornament that Robin made, and it's not an ornament, it's actually just like a little figurine, but it's this cute little Santa. He has a little heart foot. But how cute is he? I love him. He's my new little friend. And I got my dad's quilt back from Jamie, so now I need to put the binding on. But his quilt looks like, that's the bottom. His quilt looks like a bunch of Texas flags, like over and over and over and over again. So she did a custom pattern. So all the blues have this star, and then the red and the white have lines, and then it repeats. And the back, I did camo. So I think my dad is really gonna like that. So in the next day or two, I have all of those blocks laid out already for the next 4 snowflake panels. So I at least have to get those to like a certain point before I can move them and put the binding on this. So, yeah. At least by the weekend, I will get the binding put on this so that way I can start the hand stitching. So that way I can get it done. Yeah. Well, what's wrong? What's wrong? Okay. So yeah, that's really exciting. And I dropped off another quilt too, Jamie. I dropped off the other Texas quilt, which is another Christmas gift, but the recipient knows about it and knows that they are not going to get it until after the first of the year. So that's really good. But I got it to Jamie. She has it. Yeah. And I showed her a quilt design that I really like for it. So I should get it sometime in January. And okay, one more exciting thing. We are going to do the UFO challenge again this year in the guild, and I get to be in charge of it this next year. So I have some decisions to make and some forms to make before January's meeting. So that's pretty exciting. But anyways, I just wanted to give an update for this evening. I'm going to go just relax and go to bed. So I will check in tomorrow. Yeah, with some snowflake quilt updates. But look at that little waddle walk. She still walks like a kitten. And it makes me so happy. Look how cute that is. Hey friends, it is Friday, my lunch break. I've done a lot. Hi. Come here. He does not like being picked up, but so I'm not going to do this very often if he comes in here. But this is Daniel, everyone. He just came in here. He is honestly terrified to be picked up, so he might not be in many videos in this form. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. You don't have to get the claws out. It's okay. All right. So, several things have been done, some of which I can't show you yet. But it is Friday at my lunch. Hi, buddy. So I got my dad's quilt back, and yesterday, did I already say that it's Friday? It's Friday is today the 9th? I think it is. Yes. I got the binding sewed on one side yesterday, and this morning I woke up with no internet, and as I was telling my boss, hey, I don't have internet, I'll let you know whenever it comes back on, my power actually went out for a little while. So I went and got the lantern, and while I was waiting for the power to come back on, I started the binding. So I didn't get very far. I did get the label tacked down completely. And so I got just past the label and I'm up to here. So, basically what I do with a label is I start like here, I go all the way down and over, and then I go up the part that I actually have to like attach the label to the quilt, because okay, the label is secured by machine on two sides, on these two sides. And then I hand tack it down on these two sides the way that you would applique, and then I came back up. So that's how much I got done this morning, and then my power came back on and I was already like late for work. I'm going to intermittently work on that over the next week. Hi Daniel. If I can, like, whenever I'm like winding down for the night, like if I don't want to set the machine and like I just want to like chill like on the couch or something, I'm gonna have it next to me on the couch, or even maybe in bed with me. And I'm just gonna try to get like a side done every night. I can get about a side done in 30 minutes to an hour, depending on if it's a long side or a short side. And also, if I get a lot done in that first hour. After that, it starts slowing down because it starts really hurting my finger. So if I can space it out, and then whatever I don't have finished by this next Saturday, it's embroidery bee. So if I don't have it finished by next Saturday, I can take it to embroidery bee and I can knock it out and finish it. Since I can't show you this quite yet, this is my mystery Sal, my mystery quilt along. The top is finished. It's stunning. And also last weekend I picked out a backing and I matched it up, and it's not 100% perfect of a backing matchup, but it is pretty darn close for this being a super intricate like geometric pattern. I'm very proud of myself. And then the binding is just sitting over here as well, but she's comfy right now. So this isn't going to be the last clip. I'm about to do some work on my lunch break, but let me just show you what I do have going on. Yikes. So last night, so this week, I think my last clip was that I was going to work on this. And then I was going to switch back to this. So, I took one night completely off. So the next 4 panels, so the center panels, cause it's 4 by 5, I think there's 20 complete panels. Yes. So this is panels 9 through 12. So I have them chained. So this is the top panel for the middle. This is the second panel for the middle. And then there's the third and the fourth. So today on lunch, I am going to unhook the 4 different panel sections, with this being my top marker, because then that means that it's the top of the panel. And I am going to start sewing the rows together to make my panels. So we'll see how far I get along on lunch, and then I'll have to press them, and then I will add this chain to the chain of the other 2 panel columns of panels. And then we'll have 2 more sections to go. So I would probably have this panel plus another panel column done if I wouldn't have stopped to work on my mystery quilt. So I'm thinking possibly in the next week I can get the snowflake quilt finished, like the top being put together. And I think I know what I want the backing to be. I haven't looked to see how much I need of it, but this is like a mixture of fabrics. It's mostly Ruby Star Christmas from 2020, but there is some Rifle Paper Co. in there, and there is some Moda, which is the snowflake, which is the Christmas Carol music sheet paper. And why not also mix in with it a art gallery Christmas flannel. There's a really cute I don't know. It may not go together very well, but it's the back of a quilt. The back of a quilt is kind of like its own quilt, really. But I'm really, really loving, since I felt the one flannel, I'm really loving the feeling of flannel. And this is a Christmas quilt. So I don't know. I might not be mad at having the colors. A lot of the colors are also in this flannel, but how much is it saying that I need for the backing? 4.5 yards. It might be worth it. But anyways, this backing is flannel, and it has little scenes of like Santa and next to like a fireplace and like a Christmas tree, and it's really super cute. So I don't know, I'm considering that. So anyways, that's what we're gonna do today on my lunch break, is work on these rows for this panel. So that's what I've gotten done with that. And I think I've already stated that I got a replacement fabric for the book quilt. I got a gold, it's called Honey, but I got like a goldeny color for the bookmarks, and then I picked out my binding, and I'm super stoked. It is on its way. It should be here on Monday. And then yesterday morning, I found out that I'm going to be a pattern tester for the Love of Thread. It's her second quilt. I tried to be a pattern tester for her first quilt, which I ended up buying because I really like the pattern. She did like a sew along for it after the pattern came out. And I had all the intentions of starting it, but I couldn't pick out fabric. And then I got the commission quilt, and that was all around the time that like Potter passed away and everything, and it just probably wasn't the best time. So things worked out the way that they did. But I'm going to be a pattern tester for her. Her name is Joni. But you can look her up on Instagram. It's Love of Thread is her Instagram. But if you look up her like business page, and you can still like request to be a pattern tester. So if you're also a quilter and you want to like try out Sawtooth Stars, the pattern is going to be called Sawtooth Splendor. And I signed up to do the baby quilt because we just have to have the top done by a certain date and share our experience with the pattern and the process and our fabrics and all of that kind of stuff leading up to January 18th. So I have to have mine done by January 18th. I already ordered one of the fabrics, and I'm going tomorrow to get the other fabrics, so that way whenever the other one gets mailed or comes in the mail, I can get started and not postpone it. So there's all of that. I'm gonna make a Snoopy quilt. And so I told her that I would do the baby quilt because I have been wanting to make a Snoopy quilt for my guest bed for ages, and it's a twin size. And the baby quilt is almost as wide as a twin bed and almost as long as a twin bed. I will just have to add 2 rows. So it's kind of like perfect. I can make the baby size, make 2 additional rows. Once we're done with our commitments to the designer and for like taking photos and all of that kind of stuff, I can add the additional 2 rows. And then I'm going to add borders on 3 sides. Okay, because I have a preference on bed quilts that I only put borders on 3 sides. I don't put them on all 4 because I want piecing to be only, well, currently the one on my bed piecing is the whole thing. I don't have borders though. So if I'm going to make a bed quilt with borders, I want the piecing part to only be on the top of the mattress. Unless there is a pieced border, but it would be around, anyways, there's like rules and regulations in my head for things. But for this one, all the piecing is going to be on the top of the mattress. And then the hangover is going to be the background fabric for most of the hang, and the very bottom, because on the sawtooths, there are bigger ones and smaller ones. Snoopy fabric is going to be in the center of all of them. On the bigger ones, they're going to have black star points, and on the smaller ones, they're going to be yellow with blue background. So on the bottom of the 3 hangs, I'm going to have a continual zigzag of yellow and black to look like Charlie Brown's shirt. So there's going to be a hint of Charlie Brown on there. There's going to be, and then the Snoopy fabric also has little wood stocks. So I think it's going to be perfect for my guest room. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to make this pattern. And she's super thrilled. She has like a connection to Snoopy as well from her grandfather, she told me. Cause I asked her, I said, can we use pattern fabrics? And I said, because I already have a vision to do this with Snoopy fabric. And she said, 100%, I'm all here for the Snoopy. So anyways, I'm going to tweak the baby quilt after my obligations are done to the testing, and eventually have a twin size quilt, because the options were baby, throw, bed, but the bed is for a full size. Too big. And I don't want to put a big quilt together and then have to make it smaller. I'd rather take a small quilt and make it bigger. So anyways, that's pretty exciting. I'm going to get, eventually at some point, I will need to get more of the yellow and the black for the stripes, but that's not that big of a deal. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to go up later today. So whatever I get done at lunch, I will show you what I get done. And then hopefully she might move it. I don't want her to move. I genuinely don't want her to move, but I have to have her move to show you this at some point. So I will film the final update and show you the mystery quilt and the backing job that I did and any progress that I make on my lunch break in the next clip and final clip. We'll get this up tonight, and then we'll start over, and it'll all start over. Anyways, it's been a great week. It's been a hectic week work-wise, but personal life-wise, it's been a great week. I did get a tiny bit done on the little window motif on Potters, but not enough to show you. Like maybe 50 blue squares in the little window. So, also hopefully I'll get my dad's quilt finished before Embroidery Bee, and Embroidery Bee I can like get a lot of the cross stitch Sal knocked out and updated. So anyways, I'm gonna get to sewing, and I will see you in the next clip. Okay, so I think I might have mentioned this, but also I did not force her to move. It is later in the day. I'm off work. I got a lot done on my lunch break. Like sometimes you just put on an episode of Law and Order SVU and you just go, man. I can't remember if I talked about this or not. I probably did. I did. I was in the kitchen. But anyways, I got our forms put together. I'm so excited for our UFO challenge. So I got our forms put together. These are not the official ones. There are some tweaks that I need to make, but so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. So basically the concept is going to be for next year, because we're not going to have the signups until January, although I might send them out in an email. I think next Monday I'm going to go to our board meeting and make sure that the board is cool with them and like my idea and how I want to do it. And then I can finalize the documents. I can email them out. I can put them on our Facebook. The web person can put them on the website. And I will still bring them to January's meeting for people who aren't on Facebook. Do email, check the website, etc., etc. And I'll even print out a couple of copies and leave them at the fabric store and all that kind of stuff, because they can turn them in either to me or the fabric store by the last Friday of January, so that way I have them for the first meeting and I can have it already organized and already like ready to go. But basically there's 12 spots and we're going to start in February. And so there's February through December, and then there's a bonus spot because normally we start talking about this in November and these forms go out in December. So you can turn them in December and like you have the month of December to get them into the person or the fabric carousel. And then we start in January. Well, that's not how it went down this time. So it's all good. So we have a bonus month. So basically what I have said is list up to 12 separate items, tasks, or projects that you would like to complete each month. Be as specific as possible. And then put like examples, like binding on a Halloween wall hanging, complete 1 pineapple block, complete block 1 of block of the month, that kind of a thing. If you have a long-term project, you can break it up as a project over several months. And then I put, we will be going in order by month. So you can put items, tasks, and projects in a specific order. And then bring your completed item for the month to be checked in. Your name will be entered into a drawing for prizes at the end of the year, which is true, but I think I'm going to do smaller prizes every month. So like 1 month, maybe it's a single fat quarter or 2 fat quarters or something, or a mini charm pack. So basically the gifts would be like around $8 to $5, right? And then the bigger gifts, like, I don't know, I'm thinking like, maybe not all the fabric to do a new quilt or something, but like 2 charm packs and a freebie pattern off of Moda's website or Fat Quarter Shop's website for a charm quilt or something like that. And they would have to get, you know, background fabric or, you know, accompanying fabric or things like that. Or like a pattern and a couple of fabrics to like get them going to like make that pattern or something. So nothing super crazy. Maybe I can even ask Doris if one of them could be a gift card to the fabric store or even Paige, and see about getting some cool prizes in there. So anyways, but yeah, I'm going to keep the monthly drawings a secret. I think those are just going to be fun for me to know. No, I'm going to talk about it with the board, but, I just for sure want people to know there's going to be prizes at the end of the year, and your name is going to give, the more things that you finish, the more chances you have at the end of the year. But the monthly ones are going to be small because it's only going to be the people that remember to bring them. And even if you turn this in and you have a goal for every month, if you don't complete that month's goal, you don't get a ticket. Items may be turned in the night of the meeting for credit. If a month's meeting is canceled, multiple items will be due the following month. So sometimes we've had to cancel a meeting, or move it. So if a meeting is moved, obviously you just get an extra like week to do what's on your list. But if it's canceled, like say July's is canceled for whatever reason, then in August, you would bring July and August. The more months you complete, the more chances you have at the end of the year to win a prize. So turn your form into me or at the fabric store by a certain date. It says we will start in February, but you will notice there is one bonus spot, and in parentheses I put January. You can bring your bonus item at any time during the year. So since we don't really get to do January, they can have a bonus 12th month. So basically a bonus entry, and they can finish it at any point in time, right? So they can have the whole year to do it, or they can finish it right away. So I think that's gonna be really fun. And then list your items on both copies. This is your reference copy and the other is my reference copy. That's where I messed up. I messed up that line. I didn't change it for the other one. And then I just put, let's complete some UFOs. So super excited super excited. So all of that is done. I'm really excited for the UFO challenge. I'm excited to be in charge of it. You know, in the guild, I was show and tell for a really long time, and I was the webmaster for a really long time. So I haven't had an official officer spot, but I've had a chair spot for many years while I was in the guild. And then the last, like, I don't know, 5 years or so, I didn't have any chairs. So I'm excited to get back into, this isn't a chair, this is just something fun that we either do or we don't do. It's just an extra. But I'm excited that we're going to keep it going. People seem to like it. We didn't have as much participation this last year. And so hopefully we'll get some more participation this year. I really want to hype it up. I want to like get permission to maybe post about it on our Facebook group and get some people excited about it and make some graphics and post them. I'm thinking like UF Fridays, like let's work on our UFOs on Fridays or something like that. So anyways, let me show you what I got done at lunch, and then I will show you the piece of resistance for this week. But I have not ironed them. So I got all of them sewn together. I did not get them ironed. So this is my next 4 blocks. So for the middle column of the quilt, so you can see there's a tiny little part of the snowflake there. And then there's a big chunk of the snowflake there. I started getting really worried that like the snowflake fabric was going to get lost because it was a little bit too crazy. But honestly, I think it stands out just enough. So let me just point out. So the trees, the stripes, and this one, and the stars, specifically the stars, and then these like doodled stars are rifle paper. Everything else is Ruby Star. 2 different, most of it is from the 2020 collection. This is from a different collection down here. This is from Flurries. And then this is from a Moda collection that came out in the summer. I want to say it was called like Christmas Time or something, which obviously makes sense. And it would sound like every Christmas collection is probably called Christmas Time, but this was like old world Christmas time or like vintage Christmas time or something like that. Anyways, it was very like old world Santa-y, and very few of the patterns I really liked, but I loved this one in particular. And this fabric just feels a little bit different from Moda's like normal fabrics. I don't know. There's the star one, but everything else is Ruby Star. So there's another part of the snowflake. And then this is another one that is a big chunk of the snowflake. So I'm going to get those ironed tonight, which this will be in the next weeks. But tonight, my focus is going to be to get those ironed, get those put on as the next column. And I need to prep a little bit for the tamale party. I'm also thinking this next week, I'm going to work on the couple of extra gifts that I want to make. I want to make like some trivets. So kind of like pot holders, but like people are starting to make them like also like some bigger ones for like casserole dishes. I like keep on wanting to hiccup, but it won't hiccup. So I want to make a couple of like hot plate type trivet things in different sizes for like a few people. So I might work on those this next week. Okay. Let me show you the backing. So I had said Doyle went ahead and cut this in 2 2-yard pieces for me because you needed 4 yards. And so I'm so thankful that he did. But where is my seam? It's like in here. Oh, there, wait, yes, there it is. So this geometric shape, like, pattern, right? I'm pretty proud of myself. Like, this is not easy to do. I sat here and I pinned 2 yards length of fabrics together, and then sewed them really carefully. And I mean, there's like some like messed up spots, but okay. The back is gonna look like, you're gonna have to like feel for where the seam is. Like some of them are a tiny bit off, but then they get back on course. But like, come on. I've never done that before. I've never done this before where you like literally match up the design. But I think to do it on a geometric, because otherwise, if I would have sewn it together, they would have been very off. Actually, some of the pattern could have been going an opposite direction. Like it would have been like half one way and half the other way, which would have bothered me. And so, yeah, I took the time to line up. Basically, I had to put a light. I had to put the light just a certain way. And I had to overlap the fabrics. And I used the lime green, actually, as like my point of contact. And so I lined up 2 layers, the bottom and the top of the lime greens. I pinned them in the lime green, and then I went very slowly and tried to get as in the center of the lime green as possible. So that way, whenever you opened it, I hopefully hit the mark as close to that center as possible. So a couple of like the points are missing, but like, again, it's pretty darn good. You'd have to be super, super close to the back of this quilt to notice that it's a tiny bit off. And I'm very impressed and happy with myself. Okay, so I love how this came out. Okay, I've adjusted you a little bit. I love how this came out so much. Oh, I have a starter still attached. Need that. So I have the borders on and everything, but look how fun this is. And I did a pattern within a pattern. So obviously I'm not gonna be able to show you the whole thing at one time because I am short and I can only go back so far, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful and colorful, and it's just super happy. So there's one, okay, the secondary pattern is in these cornerstones, the accent color. I did 2 different dark greens and I did 2 different blues. And since there is 1 on each row, basically the pattern just shifted. So there's a secondary diagonal pattern where this like matches and they go at the diagonal. So it makes like a secondary crisscross pattern, and I absolutely love it. And I love how, you know, all of the fabrics are just so random, and oh my gosh, it's just so fun. And it looked a whole lot better. I had this so ironed and everything, and it's fine. But yeah, it's so random. There's some where they're all different. There's some where some are doubled up. There's, you know, it's very, I was trying to be okay with it being very matchy-matchy. So, or not matchy-matchy, but being very random, which is not something that I'm really good at doing, guys. So anyways, I am so excited. I feel like the blues pull more heavy on this quilt because these blues are one of the main colors, but I also put blue as the accent on the pinks. So I think for the back being the bright version of the geometric, I think is going to really make it pop on the back. and bring out more of like the pinks and the reds, but the binding is going to be this same fabric but in the blue, so like in the reverse of this. Oh, I'm so excited. Do I know whenever I'm getting it quilted? No, I do not. Thank you for asking. Right now my quilter has a quilt that is also a Christmas present. So no, in January I will pay for that, but I will probably drop more off in January. And I've just got to like play with the numbers and see what makes sense and what works. But I'm definitely probably going to try and get a quilt quilted a month, possibly more. Yeah, I'm really excited. Next year I'm going to be making some custom quilts for a couple of people. And I'm also going to do a sew along myself on Montgomery Quilt Company's Facebook page and Instagram. And we're both super excited for that. That's going to be in like early spring. So like April. What else? Like March, April. What else? The Snoopy quilt that I'm a pattern tester for this newer designer. Yeah, there's just so much. I can't say no to some of this stuff. I'm just having so much fun. Stitching will eventually come back around. At some point I will need to stop making quilts, or at least so many of them. But so many new patterns come out and so many new fabrics come out. But that's why next year I also want to challenge myself to make I want to at least make 6 items of clothing. So some of the fabrics that I'm like, oh, that would be great as a quilt, maybe it'd be better as a clothing item. So I also really want to like look into that. So anyways, that's it for this week. I hope you really liked it for this week. Lots going on. Yeah, super exciting. I will see you next week. Bye everyone.